What up, everybody? It's your girl July from Kickback, Couture, and today I'm going to show you how to arrange your beats. Now, in this example, I have a dancehall beat that I produced, also called, I guess, reggaeton or whatever you want to call it. That's what it is. The first thing you want to do in determining how you want to arrange your beat is decide what kind of beat it is. Do you want it to be aggressive? Do you want it to be sad or slow, easy on the ears, or do you want it to be crazy? So many different ways and moods, feelings that you can
follow her on Instagram. She's dope.
Portray by how you arrange your beat. You also want to figure out what sections you want in your beat. Do you want an intro, an outro, a verse? Do you want a bridge, a chorus? Are there two different verse sections? I have a rule that I use: no two parts equal. So many times when I sequence my beats here, I do a really basic arrangement and I don't actually use that as my final arrangement. But here I will show you what you need to do in order to get that final arrangement. So I will play this 4-bar loop, which includes all of my sounds in it, and then we will start arranging. So let's get into it.
July.
Alright, so those are all my sounds together. Now, I know that I want an intro. I know that I want a verse. In this particular beat, I want my hook to come first. Hook can be used interchangeably with chorus sometimes. So here I have it saying hook, and I'm using my markers or my blocks to distinguish between my different parts. After my 12-bar verse, I want another hook, and I want a bridge. So let's go ahead and switch to our pen tool, and I already have these named. Bridge. If you don't know how to use time markers, check out the video up in the cards. Now, in order to start this process, I will duplicate this. Duplicate it to fill up my arrangement for the duration of the beat I would like to arrange it for. Then I'm going to grab my eraser tool. Actually, I'm going to click on the intro section, press down Command L to move my loop indicators around that section, and then I'll grab my eraser tool and start erasing things that I do not want in my intro. You can start your intro in a variety of ways. You can start it with the drums, the bass. You can just start it with the sounds, the instruments. I prefer to start my intros off with the sounds. So I'm going to get rid of, the instruments. Going to get rid of everything except the instruments and then decide what I would like to use in this section. Start this here. Off bat, I know I don't want my brass in there. I would like to use that in the hook. I would like a very simple intro. I don't want to have all of my instruments in right at the beginning. Although there is a tendency that people often like to hint at what's to come later, so they do leave certain sounds in. In this case, I want to keep it very bare bones. I don't need this. I'm going to collapse it. I'm going to get rid of this, and let's see what we have without the brass.
July.
Let's get rid of a few more sounds. Here I have halftime. Let's see what it sounds like without it. I'm going to keep that in for this part. Let's go ahead and get rid of the pizzicato sound.
July.
I like that, so I'm going to leave it like that. Now, moving into the next section, we have the hook. We want to be mindful of transitions. How are we transitioning from the intro into the hook? So there are tons of things you can do in order to get there. You can use a riser, a faller, a swell, a swoosh, a silence, a drop. There are basically, I like to say, three different three different main things you can do in order to progress your beat transition-wise. That is volume automation, time and pitch automation, and stereo automation.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to give you this information.
For volume effects, we have silence as an example. Time and pitch, we can stretch, shrink, reverse, stutter, or scratch. For stereo, we have panning and width automation. Plugins that get the job done include but are not limited to Shaper Blocks by Cable Guys, Artillery by Sugar Bytes, Looperator by Sugar Bytes, Effectrix by Sugar Bytes, Tape Stop by Kilohertz, Reverse by Kilohertz, Slow-Mo by Initial Audio, Reverse by Initial Audio. Any EQ will get filtering effects done. Nearly any synth can be formed to create a riser or a fall. And most simply, your sequencer is great for creating stutter effects and silences. My personal favorite is the riser. It's really great for creating riser effects. Check it out.
Alternatively, because of where my tag is located, I do not want to do a tape stop. I'm actually going to leave it how it is because I have this sound right here, which is a flute that signals a transition into another section, and it only plays during transition, which I will delete later in the other parts. But it sounds like this.
July.
So I don't actually have to do anything in this case because that particular sound leads us into the next portion. That's called a lead-in or transition. There's so many different words for transition. So let's work on our hook. These are all the sounds I have. If we scroll from top to bottom, can easily zoom out by holding down Command Control on a Windows computer. So I want to get rid of a few things. These sections where I have things doubled are where I have variations. So I'm going to get rid of the variations. I don't want both to play. And then I can collapse these. I'm going to make sure that these are all the length they're supposed to be before I get rid of it. Alright. Now let's play it, see what I would like to strip away, if anything.
July.
So I want to get rid of this for this section, the tambourine, and I will get rid of the hit. Now I would like the second part of this hook to be more dramatic than the first part. So in turn, I will also get rid of this and keep the stomps. So let's hear how this sounds now.
July.
So I would like to keep this part out of the first part of the hook. Now let's go ahead and get rid of it and the intro as well, so that we don't have any confusion. Alright. Now, listening from the beginning to the end, we just want to make sure that it doesn't sound like there are any abrupt changes or weird sounds. Everything sounds natural and it transitions smoothly. Now I'll start with the verse. I don't want all the instruments. Gonna get rid of this. No brass for the verse. Get rid of the tambourine, get rid of the stomps. Don't want this playing yet. And here, let's go ahead and loop this area. Command L on a Mac, Control L on a Windows, and let's see what we can do just listening to this section repeatedly if we have to. I want to start off simpler than this, so I'm going to delete sounds. You want to make sure your beat is progressively building in each section. Also, I do have this halftime effect, so I can take this out and also change things up a bit. So let's take it out here, get rid of this sound here. Then we are transitioning into our hook again. We can make it the exact same as the first one, but I have a rule: no two parts equal. And let's see what this sounds like leading in from the verse into the second hook. Now, to me, it sounded a bit empty. It's missing something. It needs something else. One plugin I like to use for my transitions is called the Riser. It's made by Air. You can go check that out in your leisure. There's a trial. So in this case, I would like to add a tape stop. I will use Kilohertz tape stop plugin. It's a rack extension also. Effects, Kilohertz, tape stop. And I will turn down the start time. I'm going to right click on play, hit edit automation, and then I'm going to create my clip here. Gonna zoom in and gonna place it here. That means pause, play. Those are the two options. So let's see what this sounds like. Alright, we might not want it to stop that fast. So if we want it to stop slower, we can increase the stop time. Let's zoom out. Listen to our transition. Alrighty, so that might be good, but let's listen to it in context with the hook. I like that. Let's go with a shorter stop time though, and let's decrease the size of this box. Gonna go ahead and put this on grid mode so that our grid will change as we zoom in. Let's see what it sounds like at half the length that we had it previously. I like that because it doesn't affect the rhythm of the beat too much and it won't throw off people. This type of track is kind of dancey, vibey, everybody's up and moving. And if I have a slow tape stop effect and the rhythm kind of gets off, it'll throw people off. So I don't want to do that. I want a very fast transition effect for this purpose. Might be able to get away with increasing it a little bit since this section is short. This clip is short. Alright, so we're good. We transitioned successfully between the first verse and the second hook. Let's see how we want to arrange the second verse and transition in between those. I know I wanted to start like this. Keep going. Gonna take out this hit in a few places. That's the wrong one. looking for this snare sound right here. It should be gone now. If I take it out, it sounds like an alarm, basically. Great, we found it. Forgetting about the brass that I don't want in there. Simplistic, bare bones for my verses. Let's get this flute out of here. Alright. Sounding pretty good. Back into the hook. Alright, now we need a transition before we get into here also. So we're gonna keep that there. Let's collapse this. We'll keep flutes in both times. Collapse that. Gonna get rid of the high key for the first section. We'll get rid of the siren snare. We will keep those in for the entire time. Now for this transition we can do a number of things. We can do a volume transition, time and pitch transition, or we can do a stereo transition, as I said before. So I'm thinking here I will do a silence transition. That's really easy and it's free. It doesn't require any plugin. So let's go ahead and automate our volume. Here I have my volume automation clip already created inside of my template. All you do is right click on your master level, edit automation, and it will create that for you. And we are doing that here. Inside of this clip, I'm going to make sure I put a point at 0. And let's see if this needs to be shortened or if it's long enough. It needs to be shortened. So I will zoom in. Again, I'm in grid mode so that our grid adapts to our zoom. I think I like that. Let's hear back a bit further. Alright, I like it, but let's add some sort of crash so that we can signal the change a bit more than what we have already going on. So there is a crash in there, but we're going to layer it with another one. I already have this Project Sam rack, so let's use something from that and make it stronger. Just gonna go through, see what we have. Let's use this. See what else we have going on. I like that one. Alright, we'll put that one in there. That might be enough, so let's listen and see what we got. So I like it. It still kind of sounds a bit empty, so I will add a riser. I'm going to go into my Galaxy preset bank, and I'm going to grab one of my risers. Let's go with Felony. I'm going to put that down here. This is actually a faller. And I want to use a riser for this particular transition. See which other ones we have. heartbeat transition. Alright, tweezer. I like this one. Cool. Yeah, let's use this one. Some pitch a bit. Nice. Alright, I like how our hook is formatted here. I will take this part out, and then for our bridge section, I want to do something a bit different. And since this is a bridge, I want to make sure I have a different element. So I will add another effect. In this case, I want to drop down the pitch of my drums for the second half of it. So I would like to, let's make a unique pattern with our 808 bass. And let's make sure these only play once and not twice. Let's go like this. Gonna make these longer for this section. Not too long. Let's go ahead and make it like that. Gonna move my left loop locator. Gonna do the same thing on this side. This one is a bit different than this one, I believe. Let's go ahead and do it like this. Make these longer. Alright. And let's go ahead and ease ourselves out of this drop down slow-mo pitch effect. Another plugin you can use for slow-mo effects is by Initial Audio. It's called slow-mo. So let's go ahead and automate our way out of these. At this point we are at 100%, and at this point we will be at 0%. This is the automation for our drums, so let's listen to this. Alright, drums. And let's make sure we have these also routed to that drum bus. Route to drum bus. We forgot about our tambourines and our roll, which are interconnected in the same clip from Project Sam. Alright, let's come out a bit faster. Like about there, and we're gonna go ahead and copy this. Command C or Control C on a Windows computer. Alright, and we need to find our other shaper box plugin, wherever that is. Automate, click. Oh, okay, that's right there in front of my face. I'm now going to paste that here. Actually, I'm gonna drag it up because I cannot do that. There we go. Alright, cool. Thing sounds good. We might want to add a riser to get us through to the next hook. Some sort of transition. We definitely want something to get us to that next part. So let's go ahead and add 8-ball. I believe that's the one we want. Nope, it's felony. And let's get ourselves out of this section. And to make that a bit longer, so let's move this starting note position over here. And we're good. Need to turn up the volume. We might raise it up an octave. Nope, let's leave it down here. It sounds good with that section. And now we will turn it up, navigate to it in the rack, and we are good to go. Alright, let's see what we might want to change about this hook. I think I see a point in which this may not be on time, so I change that. Yes. Alright, cool. We don't want to take that part out. I don't want to take that part out. I want to start to take things out since we're going into the outro. So I'm going to remove our second brass. Don't want it coming back in the outro. I can then collapse this, get rid of this. I don't need that in the lane anymore. And let's hear what we should take out. Let's get rid of this sound. Let's get rid of this sound. And then we will do this in unison with the outro in terms of arranging. Let's get rid of this. We'll keep that for this part. We will get rid of the halftime momentarily. We will get rid of the flutes. We will keep the bass line. We'll strip it in the outro. We will keep the high keys. And we will get rid of our hits and tambourine in the outro. Let's also take them out here. See what we've got. Alright, cool. Gonna keep the bass going. And I have successfully arranged my beat. I don't know why I clicked every button but the one I was supposed to. Now I have Now I have successfully arranged my beat from beginning to end. No two parts are equal, and I will zoom out to show you that. Alright, there we go. So it's done. Now in arranging your beat, you want to make sure you have enough instruments for each section. Sometimes I tend to overproduce my tracks so that no two parts can be equal. I will not say that you should regularly make sure you overproduce your tracks. I don't think that's a good thing to do. But from here, I would listen to it a few more times, make sure everything is how I want to do it. Just off bat, I know I'm going to get rid of some more symbols in the verse sections, and then my beat is basically arranged. Once my beat is arranged, I then mix it. So if you like this video, give it a like, comment down below, subscribe, and most definitely let me know what you would like to see next. It's all culture, kick back, and cook up like me.
Follow her on Instagram, she's dope.
Follow her on Instagram, she's dope.
Did you subscribe yet? Please.